Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the pre-alpha player house from the game Hello Neighbour. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button if you really did enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see everything else that I'm going to be making on the channel in the future. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. By the way, I've made quite a few Hello Neighbour related builds. Check those out in the card system, description below, and the top of the comment section. And without any further ado, let's get started. So just before we get started, everybody, here are all of the materials that you will need to make this build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. The amount of space required to make this is a 23 by 32 block area, as represented by the white concrete grid on the ground, and this does also give you enough room to place the car and also the luggage outside as well. And that's it. Pause the video if you have to. Make sure that you've got all that stuff. Make sure you've got enough room to make it. Make sure you're ready. And once you are, we can begin. Step 1, neighbours. Come all the way over to the front right hand corner of your grid, if you've made the grid, and count backwards from this corner 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then left 1, 2, 3. This is where we're going to be kicking things off. I want you to begin by placing 6 spruce planks going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Extend inwards by 3. 1, 2, 3. Extend left by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then extend backwards by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now all we have to do is extend this 9th block all the way across, and we're just going to join it all the way back to the front. So we end up with a pretty simple shape here, like this. Perfect. It kind of also actually reminds me of like a speech bubble or like a text message icon. Anyway, so now that we have the floor plan, we can start building up some walls. We're going to begin our journey on the front right hand corner of the house, because that's kind of where we started this thing off originally. We're going to place 1, 2, 3 white concretes on top of each other on this corner of the house. We're then going to extend the bottom white concrete across to the left, and then upwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What we can then do is extend that entire row backwards 3 rows so that it sits very comfortably on top of the floor plan. We're going to place 2 rows of glass pane, 1 and 2, in between the space between these 2 white concretes and the left side. What we're then going to do is place a layer of quartz slabs underneath the window to make a windowsill, and we're going to grab our red nether brick slabs and we're going to place a solid red nether brick on top of the right hand side of the house. We're going to take the lower half of the brick and extend it outwards to the right, and then forwards, and then we're going to extend it left, up, left, up, left, up, so on and so forth until it reaches a logical conclusion, which is just going to sit half a row above on top of this wall here. We want to fill above the window here in using white concrete like this, and you only have to do an entire row on top of the glass and then these 2 here in the corners, because the roof will actually take care of the rest. And that is most of the detailing necessary for the right side of the build here. So for the left side of the build, it is a tad bit different, and we're going to start by making the porch. We start by taking the bottom left hand corner here of the kind of like sticking out part of the house, and we place 1, 2, 3 oak stairs extending outwards, oak wood planks next to it, and then we place 2 rows of planks behind the stairs and the oak planks. We place a row of oak fence on the left side of the build, extending outwards on top of the layer of planks, and then we take the very end oak fence and extend it up 1, 2. Stick a red nether brick slab on the end there, and then we're going to have to extend that slab forwards 1, and then right, up, and then we want to start extending down again. We want to go right, down, right, and that will just clip onto the right side of the build there. The next thing that we want to do is we want to place a layer of white concrete on top of this horizontal row of spruce planks just behind us. We want to take the left, and we'll also do the right sides at the same time. We want to place rows of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white concretes on top of those 2 blocks. So, and I want to make this perfectly clear, this area here does not want to get extended up. The roof is actually just going to continue extending kind of like this. So that doesn't want to connect together really in any way. When it comes to the 2 large windows on the, I guess this is the main portion of the house. You can't go inside of this in the game, by the way. You can only look at it from the outside and it's an empty room. But it's got 2 large windows. We start by placing 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 glass pane extending from the corner. Place another row on top. 2 rows of white concrete on top of that. And then 2 rows of glass pane on top of that as well. Just shave those blocks off. And then all we have to do is fill in pretty much the space in between the 2 rows of white concrete that we just made earlier. So if you just fill in between those rows, everything will be just fine like this. We can place some quartz slabs underneath each one of the windows to make windowsills. And we can make space for the entrance, which is going to be here. The center of the porch is sort of where the 3 oak stairs are. It's the middle stairs, so that's what we're going to call the center. We want to extend the little porch roof area backwards using the red nether brick slabs. If you have room in your inventory, I don't know how you would because it's pretty full, then obviously you can also use red nether brick where possible. It actually makes it a little bit easier, and it would make it easier later on too. I might even grab it. So that's what we want to have so far. Let's make the outline for the proper roof, the big roof. It's made in the same way that we kind of did the lower roof. It's pretty much red nether brick slabs hanging off the ends of the top of the house on the left and right side. You want to extend these slabs outwards, and then you want to extend them in and up and in and up. Eventually, and I would recommend doing it rather evenly, do a few on one side, do a few on the other side. Eventually, you will meet in the middle. You'll actually meet, you won't meet in kind of like 1 block, you'll meet in kind of like 2, like this. It's not like a pointy triangle, it's kind of more like a somewhat of a slopey triangle like this. You can fill the white concrete. You can fill the under part of the top of the roof in using white concrete like so. And that's pretty much about as complicated as the house gets. The sides of the house have no detail, none whatsoever. We're going to use white concrete for this. We're simply going to extend the walls on the left side of the house. We're going to extend it all the way back using white concrete. That's all there is to it. We want the back of the house to actually match the front of the house. So as best you can, copy the front of the house. And by the way, there's no window on this particular back part of the house. And the back part of the house is flat, believe it or not. It's certainly flat. So we're going to fill in the wall here using white concrete. The roof on this little part of the build wants to extend back the exact same way that is on the front, and you can even build it up on the back. So just make sure it overhangs the back of the build by 1 row like this, and then you can build the roof up like so, and you can just join it front to back pretty much. When it comes to the front of the build as well, like I said, this just wants to it wants to match the front. So the back and the front exact same. The only difference is there's no windows. Now there may be windows on this backside, but you can't actually see in game. That's right, I actually downloaded the game and I had a really good look around the house. So I'm actually very confident in this build, what is and what isn't here. Unless there's a way to like glitch out and like walk through walls and stuff, there's not really any way of knowing, unfortunately. There could be something back here, but it doesn't seem to be. So we can raise up white concrete here just so that it doesn't interfere with the roof, and then we can extend that up like this. So now all we've got to do is extend the roof. we've just got to extend it front to back. I guess I will do it manually with the red nether brick slabs. I'll just extend the top half of these slabs because it will just be easier that way. I'm not going to extend 2 rows and turn it into solid blocks. I'm only extending the tops. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, the reason that I was actually able to make this house in such detail is because I actually did download the game and I had a really good look around the house and a really good look around the actual Mr. Peterson's house as well, which seems to be hard to say fast. So I might also make the pre-alpha version of the neighbor's house too. So we'll just have to see if you guys like it and if you guys like this one. I did just finish, I believe, the Alpha 1 build of the Hello Neighbor house, the actual Mr. Peterson's house. So if that does well, I think I'll do the other versions because it's really fun to actually get in-game, and it's actually really, really fun to build something that you can have such a good look around. Like, mostly when I make these houses, I'm like, you know, I'm just working off a couple of pictures here and there, but to actually be able to physically walk around the place and being able to, you know, squeeze as much detail in, you know, reasonably squeeze about as much reasonable detail in as I possibly can. Really, really fun. So that's what the house should look like so far. We've just got a little row there of white concrete. Oh, 2 white concretes, my bad. I guess those are placed in the half position. There we go. That just has to be filled in with white concrete. The back, as I say, is completely blank. The only thing you can see, as a matter of fact, in the actual game is you can see what the back garden looks like, which we will be doing too. So the house also needs a chimney. The chimney is going to be placed on pretty much the right side of the build here. We want to count in probably about 1, 2, 3. On this 3rd row, we're going to knock out a roof tile behind, 1 inwards on each side, and then we're going to place some white concretes, and then we're going to raise the white concretes up a row, and we might just leave it at that. I don't think we're going to make it any higher. We'll just stick some quartz slabs on top of it, and there we are. That's looking great. So when it comes to the rest of the house here, I want to, first of all, I want to lay out the rooms. So there's just a couple of rooms. It's pretty. There's only actually 2 rooms you can access. There's a hallway and there's a bedroom, and they're both very, very simple. So these rooms actually have some weird wallpaper. It's kind of like bluey. The best match is light blue terracotta. Leaving a gap of 1 from the door on the inside, we want to create a 3x3 room. So if on the ground, actually, if you want to do this, like if you create a 3x3 square of spruce planks like this, and you place light blue glazed terracotta around it, like so, that's actually the space of the hallway, pretty much. We're going to raise up the walls a couple of rows. We want to be able to have a lantern in here, and I'm sorry that the light is kind of like glitching out. It's a weird thing that's been happening with Bedrock recently. We want to have a doorway which will lead you into the bedroom. That can be the middle of the right wall here. Even the ceiling, by the way, has the wallpaper on it, so we can fill the top of this box in using some blue glazed terracotta. You can join this row of blue glazed terracotta, by the way, to the right wall as well, and you can also form the ceiling too. The ceiling's just going to sit directly above where we have this glass here, just like this. It's not going to be too dark, is it? I hope not. No, this is fine. Great. The floor is pretty much just spruce planks or something that looks very similar to it, like this. If you wanted to, you could make the bedroom a little bit bigger, but honestly, there really isn't anything in here except a couple of beds. That's it. So the only decoration that you need for the inside of the house... Oh, we don't have a door. Oh, well, we'll grab one in a sec. We need lantern and brown beds. So we need a double brown bed just in this room. That's pretty much all there is to it. There's just a double brown bed. Or it's actually just 1 bed, but, you know, Minecraft. And we're going to place a lantern. There is a hanging light inside the hallway. That's all. There's no more. It's a bit sad, really. We're going to grab the oak doors. I'm going to place 1 here and 1 here. And that's all she wrote. If you do want to, you can fill this room. You can maybe give this room... let's destroy into it. You can give this room a floor if you like, because you can see into it from the outside, but there's actually nothing here. I'm pretty sure that you're just moving into the neighborhood, so it does make sense that you wouldn't have anything. We can connect this wall here, like so, and you can also give this a ceiling, but this room isn't accessible. It's completely blank, so you know you're probably not going to want to put anything interesting in here unless you want to live in this house, which is perfectly valid because it's not a bad house really. There we go. That's all there is to it with the inside. So literally you cannot really see anything else other than this. You can't even see upstairs, to be honest with you, but you can see downstairs and it's blank. The next thing that we're going to do is we are just going to place a little bit of a fence around the house. If we start from the porch here, the left side of the porch, we want to move outwards 1, 2, 3, 4 birch fence. The birch fence is going to go all the way left to where we have this boundary, and we are going to extend the birch fence backwards again along the boundary. It's going to extend across the back. It's going to extend forwards, and then it's going to extend. It's going to line up with the fence on the opposite side, and then it's going to pretty much extend inwards to where we have the glass here. So that is pretty much where we have all of the fence there. There is also a tree. That's right. How exciting. Bone meal, oak sapling. So we need an oak sapling just in the corner here, and we're going to hope it doesn't grow to insane proportions. Perfect. A little bit of a tree there. It's actually a bit more detailed than that, but Minecraft. We're going to grab red tulips because that's the closest flower match. There's a few red tulips kind of like dispersed in the front garden of our build like this. You can even add some grass and stuff for a bit more, if you wanted to. I mean, you know, you're getting into kind of like the nitty-gritty, if you know how crazy you want to be with the detail. But there is a lot of grass and double grass and stuff around the house. So if you like, you can add quite a bit of it around the house like this. It's not very well mowed again. I think you've just moved in. So in the back part of the house, you can actually see what's here and nothing else. Pretty much you get this view of the back of the house if you're in game, and all I could see here was a lot of like red looking flowers that kind of resemble the tulips, like a lot of them in the back garden. So there's that, and just some grass. So you know that's about it. I'm just going to randomly spread some of that out. That's pretty much all there is. Again, there might be windows. There's not one here. But there might be some on the main back of the house, but I just don't know that. So, again, unless you were to wall glitch or something, you wouldn't find that out. What else? So, we also need to, and I can get rid of all this, so we also need to make a few more things. So, for what we need to make next, we don't have everything. We need a brown shulker box. Or several, and we need oak fence, and we need stone pressure plates. So there's some boxes stacked up outside the house. This is just kind of like a little bit left of this fence here. Probably start about here, one row away. Just stack up a few boxes like this. You don't have to go too crazy. Something like this. There's also a chair that can be made using oak fence rather easily. If you place 4 oak fence together, kind of like this in a ring, and then extend the back 2 up, it just looks like a chair. There's also stuff on the ground. I'm just going to stick a stone pressure plate to represent that. We also need, there's a, what do you call it? Like a street light that's pretty much, it's kind of like a wooden one, oddly enough. Spruce fence, spruce wood slab, and lantern. Somewhere just in the back cornerish here, so maybe here, just connected to everything. We're going to place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shall we? Is 5 good enough? We'll do 6 spruce fence on top of each other, spruce wood slab, extend across by 2, stick a lantern underneath, and then that will keep things nice and well lit. There should also be bins here, or trash cans, or a trash can pretty much. That's just a cauldron. I'm just going to stick that just right in front of that fence. And last but not least, there is a car. That's right, there is a car. So, the car is pretty much going to be made out of yellow wool, black concrete, white wool, white carpet, yellow carpet, glass paint, item frames, red concrete and button, and we will need something else as well. This is just going to be made here. It's pretty much just like extending out from the corner of these brown shulker boxes. Yellow wool, extend down by 2. Add a black concrete on both sides, extending forwards. Place 2 rows of yellow wool, extending from the black concretes. another layer of black, yellow wool on the end, extend down, fill the middle of this in using yellow wool, stick buttons on all 4 of the wheels like this. There we go. We're going to place white wool on top the back pair of black concretes. We're going to extend those forwards using glass, join them together in the middle and at the back to form a back window. We're going to place a yellow carpet in the center of this area and then a white carpet on top. And we are going to fill the roof in using white carpet like this. It's kind of actually looks like a taxi. I don't know if it is supposed to be. There we go. You can usually access the boot or the trunk, but not in this case. So we're going to just place some yellow carpet on top of the rest of the car pretty much. Oh, there we go, we did place it. On the back 2 corners of the car, we're going to have brake lights. We're going to have brake lights, so that's going to be item frames with red concrete in there. And on the front of the build, we're going to use item frames, and you can use white wool in there. That's for headlights. And just to finish this off, and I believe that this will finish off the entire build except for a bit of cleaning up, a ladder. A ladder. There we go, a ladder. Perfect. And that will be the car. And ladies and gentlemen, once you've done that, you've actually completed the entire build. There's really not anything else that you can do. Let me clean up this area and then let me show you what it should look like now that it's all been fully completed. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what your pre-alpha Hello Neighbour player house should look like once it has been 100% fully completed. Despite the fact that the majority of the walls lack any ounce of detail, I think that this house looks really cool. I think that we've nailed the small details that we've been able to add, and I actually think it's quite a nice house. If you wanted to live in here, I certainly wouldn't blame you, but certainly watch out for Mr. Peterson. He probably won't be happy with you. And that's it. I do hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I had a blast designing and making this. I really did. Some of the most fun that I've ever had actually designing Minecraft houses from video games, when I've actually been able to go around the actual game and have a look at what every little detail that exists. Really fun. If you did enjoy this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. Helps the channel out loads and loads. Subscribe if you want to see the rest of my stuff. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. If you do want to make anything else by me, of which you can see there is a little bit of a variety, that rhymed, then check out the card system, description below in the top of the comment section for more. I'm actually planning on bumping the frequency of which I post on this channel because I've been having such a good time making cartoon and fun builds for you. So card system, description below, subscribe, like the video. I really appreciate all of you. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.